Hello everyone, welcome.
Hi everyone, welcome in our presentation. So today we want to address some issues which we touch since more than 200 days. The world changed. We have new issues, new value of these issues. We change strategy of companies and also of countries. We would like to explain some more details about this changing, especially in the light of sustainability, in the light of environment, in the light of risks. My name is Adam Pietera, and with me today is
Anna Bamba, hello everyone.
But especially for the presentation, we will change our last name. That's why my name is Adam Supplier.
And my name is Anna Bayer.
Anna, I have a question to you. If you find out that your smartphone was produced, created by a company which employs children, support terrorism, or poison our nature, our environment,
Well,
you will buy it again?
for sure I will reconsider and try to find other possibilities. Therefore, this, what you just said, it gives us some introduction to our presentation. And we would like to discuss today's topic that is connected with the due diligence legislation when it comes to cooperation with the suppliers, right? So this topic has been triggered by the United Nations information and indication to what is happening. That's why Germany, Australia, Norway, they decided and they have pursued this legislation, and nowadays also Germany is preparing to implement it also in your country, this legislation, and show how to work with suppliers in a transparent way, respecting also the human rights and also the whole environment and business, how does it work. So this will be our presentations, and I think that we can move forward in regards to that.
Yeah. Anna, I've seen in a website some information about new rules or new act which was created by German government about some additional rules in risks. Could you tell me what that's true?
Yes, that's true. Correct. Germany's government, like other countries that will be implementing that, they want to, make and strengthen the human rights and also the environmental protection. So they want to ensure that the cooperation between customers and suppliers goes really transparent, that we do take care about what we do and how we do it. So this has a significant impact on the future and on the business that we will be performing together between customers and suppliers.
So let's say the company which have less than 10,000 employees, that will be touch me directly?
At the moment, no. We are planning to implement the legislation in 2023 for more than 3,000 people. So yes, in some point, yes, because you said 10,000. So it will...
1,000.
1,000, sorry. So if it's 1,000, it will be ready for you and also obligatory for you from 2024. But in 2023, this legislation is targeting all the employees who have, all the companies that have more than 3,000 employees. So it is quite important to get some more information about it and be prepared for all this new legislation aspects.
Yeah, I'm really scary. I will collect the information, but tell me, what is the threat? What is the risk that will touch me?
Of course. So there are risks with that legislation. If the suppliers will not be compliant to those, there might be some penalties coming towards the suppliers. So it can be reduction or fines when it comes to your revenue. If you will perform the misconduct, you might be excluded from participating in public tenders up to, I think, 3 years. So I think it is a quite significant significant penalty for the suppliers, and in the end it might cause the revenue loss. So I think that being compliant to this new legislation gives you more opportunities and gives you a broad way and open doors to find more customers, and also take care about the human rights and also the environmental protection.
Yeah, today we want to show you how to address this approach, this issue. But let's go back a few meters and stay on the position to understand what is the base for our solution. Of course, our solution based on business network, the SAP Business Network, which is a platform or functionality which came from Ariba solution. Ariba solution, this is a solution which consists from some modules, for example, sourcing, SLPs, supplier lifecycle performance, contracts, buying and invoicing. This is the completely finished process source to pay, which we manage with such a cloud solution. That's very important today in our situation to have a transparency for the whole process. And very strong part of this solution, this is a network. Why? Because we need to connect in real time with our suppliers. Yes, Bayer?
Correct, that's correct.
We need to have a quite good volume of information in the real time to have a, let's say, more efficient process which goes somewhere in the system. We need to connect. That's why the basis for our solutions, especially for risk, is a Ariba business network, which include also supplier network, also LBN network and asset network. That's what was very important. We need to understand what is the exchange of information. Of course, common sourcing. The part of process will exchange some RFX, BOMs, contracts, and also compliance. Some information about supplier sent to the buyer.
Correct.
Buyer will look at this, make evaluation, and back. And this is a, let's say, a continuous improvement during the exchanging the data. Of course, we will send also some information about planning, forecast, schedules, stocks. Also, in the part of operation, we will be much more efficient because through the network we can send POs, changes, some documents like ASN, extended ASN, and others. The last one, of course, financial, to have the real-time information about some reconciliations or invoices, of course, payment status. But based on the information, we will try and we will use the information to make our supplier risk lower. Why? Because the connection between buyer and supplier will be exchanged through the network. That means in the same platform where we can send the information, collect the information, make archive of information about standing of this supplier. Of course, in next steps, we will see that if we are using the Ariba Business Network, the inventory stocks will decrease, operation cost will decrease, and of course, income acceleration will be much more efficient. So this is the base for our how we want to, what tool we want to address our approach. That's why, next slide, the process which we want to build or is already built in Ariba, because the risk management, this is the part of Ariba suite, will go, of course, from the beginning, because we need to make onboarding of supplier. We need to invite the supplier into our network. Then, of course, if we have registered as a supplier on our platform, we have a connection, we can do some additional activities which are connected with a risk assessment. That's clear. We have a connection, we can make risk assessment, and then if we have a risk assessment, we can think how based on the information from the platform, from the network, from the risk management which collect the information, how we can make risk prevention, how we can make some exploration of the data and make evaluation. What is a stand of this supplier? After it, if the auditor is coming to us and asking, you have a plan, then you have a process in the system, then you have a result, then show me the reports how you want to improve your process to manage risk supplier. Completely solution, but how does work?
So this will come to our, I think, next slide, where we would like to give you some more insights to the process. I will continue the discussion that and the description which Adam provided you. So, me as a buyer, when I will be performing some RFPs, tenders, benchmarking, and I would like to start some cooperation with the suppliers, I will, of course, prepare the strategy, work on the RFP, but I will also try to work closely with our risk management team, right, in order to analyze possible risk, to prepare the perfect strategy, to get as many information as we could from the supplier. This due diligence supply chain legislation, it also covers additional questionnaires that will be provided to the supplier. So, after preparing everything when it comes to the strategy of tender and, for example, RFP, we will send it to the supplier and we will be asking you, Adam.
Oh, that's my duty, that's my responsibility.
Yes, that will be your duty
okay.
and your responsibility within this new legislation to fill in a very standard-based self-assessment questionnaire, which can be, of course, adjusted. But the key to it is also to standardize it so it will be visible and properly, adjustable for all the customers or the suppliers that we would like to work with. We will be asking you about your business, how do you do your business, if you do follow the code of conduct, if you do respect the environmental protection, human rights, and so on. And this information will be very valuable to us customers and buyers in order to qualify later on what are the risks for our future cooperation and what can we do to avoid such risk. So this is very important for you as a supplier to be very honest within this self-assessment questionnaire, to be open for cooperation and to be open for this continuous improvement which will be following this process, right? Because each one of us, buyers, customers, suppliers, we always look forward to improve what we can if we define such room for improvement. As soon as we receive this questionnaire from you as a supplier, we will qualify and we will evaluate the answers that we have received from the suppliers. So it will be a very valuable opinion and feedback for me as a buyer and all of my colleagues who work as a buyer in order to evaluate this RFP or those tenders that we are working on. So I will be collaborating after that, after receiving the information from you as a supplier, with our risk managers, with our auditors or other external validators to be 100% sure that this supplier that provided me with the best offer ever will really respect the new legislation and will allow us for great cooperation in the future, will provide us with the best quality, best services, as well as best price.
That seems very simple.
It seems simple, and I think it is. You need to follow simple rules in order to comply to this new legislation.
Okay, that's only questionnaire.
No, not only questionnaire, but yeah, it's based on that.
That's clear. I would like to because with us is a lot of people which are really interested in such a solution. If I can ask you for summary, let's say in a few bullets. Okay. What is the benefit for such a simple but very important solution?
Yes, you mentioned very perfect wording, that is very important solution. The benefits are that we work more efficient. We do respect the code of conduct. We go forward with the protection of our environment. How do we work? So we are compliant. We do follow very transparent process. We provide reports. We are available for any discussion. So it is opening us for further sustainability in the business, let's say, environment, right? So summarizing everything, it's very efficient. We are able to better assess risks. We are able then to know how we can prevent those risks, having on board some additional resources like risk management or the auditor department. So I guess it has a lot of positive sides, and it gives not only this safe, let's say, space for customers and buyers, but it also opens a safe space for the suppliers for their future. How do they work with their systems? How do they make business with others? And in the end, we do everything to be sustainable, to protect our environment, and have better cooperation and better communication as well, contacts with the suppliers and customers.
Great. I will register it in Ariba network and we'll see how this looks like. It's simple and
yes, you should.
I will be a safe supplier.
That's correct. Because
Great.
You mentioned as well Ariba Network, coming back to those slides when we were discussing it. This is a global platform which allows the cooperation between customer and suppliers. It gives, coming back to efficiency, it's shortens the time of the cooperation, of sending documents, being in contact. So we can do everything online through this portal, and I think it gives us a very good, let's say, overview of being more sustainable. It gives us more opportunities to find new customers, new suppliers, not only the ones that you work within your, let's say, region, country, but also globally.
So ready to use.
Yes, correct. And
but I think a lot of you have idea. Okay, it's great. Anna buyer, Adam supplier says it's great. It's opportunity to use. It's ready to use. But of course, if you have a chance to find something like 30 minutes, we can provide to everyone, of course, demo, which is very simple because it's ready and is a part of risk management, which is product since, I don't know, 10 years in Ariba pocket. And we want to show you very simple process how to address our approach of this presentation in the system, live. That's why it's our...
Yes, that's our proposal. If you are interested in this topic more and you would like to get some more information, please contact us and we will be more than happy to discuss it with you and have some demo presentation in order for you to get some more insight to this difficult, I guess, in the beginning, but in the future, simple way of doing business between suppliers and customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anna, Adam, thank you very much for this presentation. So, Anna, in which case, in which situation does the supplier receive a fine?
Yes, this is a good question, very good question. So during our presentation, we were discussing a lot about the misconduct, not respecting the human rights, protection, then to protect the environment. So if the supplier will not be following those rules, will not be compliant, and will be providing untrue information about their business. If the supplier will be not able to provide also clear reports and will not want to be transparent in that business connections, then it might then they might be fined. So they could get penalties, they can be discarded from some tenders and RFPs, and in the end it's also revenue loss for the suppliers. So I think it's not worth risking it.
think so too. So, does introducing the Lieferkettensorgfaltspflichtengesetz, I've learned that quite a while tonight.
Yes, difficult
so
word.
I need to
Difficult
use
word.
that a couple of times more just to make sure it was worth it to learn it.
Yes.
So, does this regulation requires additional resources in order to support the whole process?
I would say yes and no, because it also depends on the size of company. So, but in bigger companies, usually we have dedicated teams, risk management teams who are in close cooperation with the buyers. So they are supporting them and helping them out to find the best strategy, how to avoid potential risks. But small companies can freely also engage their currently employed people in order to maybe change some way of working, but giving them also the possibility to learn something new. So you can also involve in such projects existing resources in the company.
Perfect. So, Adam, the implementation of the risk management module, how long does that take?
Yeah, always is a very difficult question, but that what can I say today? This is between 8 and 12 weeks. It's a short time to implement this. Of course, even more weeks because if somebody is using other modules, for example, supplier lifecycle performance, and want to integrate the risk Ariba, which cover our approach, then the integration and additional functionality like evaluation through category or segmentation of supplier, that will take more time, not much more, but of course more than 12 weeks. I think this is a simple answer.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot.